Black men, the hardest thing for you to do, for all of us to do, is to get a job. I know from personal experience it can take more than sometimes a year or 2 years. Sometimes, even for myself, it took close to 5 years sometimes to find a decent position, and then you have to usually hustle. But you have to hustle and look around for work. And I know that when you finally get that job, that's just the easy part. It's a struggle to get a job, but just getting it is the easy part. The hard part is keeping that job, because you're going to run into a huge obstacle course of people who don't want you there, and you have to look out for those people. Very, very. Everybody wants to get you fired. Understand, black man, you are behind enemy lines when you're on a job. No one wants you there. No one needs you there. No one has any real use for you. But your job when you get there is you have to understand that you have to understand that you have to have a plan when you first get on any job, because you know you're not going to stay there. Understand that the black man's employment is never stable. That's due to white supremacy. That's due to racism, and it's also partially due to feminism. The goal, but all these forces are working against you. Even though people are saying things like there's affirmative action, equal opportunity, those things never came for black men. That's why black men are the least, have the highest unemployment rates, and they have the hardest time finding jobs in any economic, even in great economic times, they have a hard time finding work. So you have to understand, you need to have a plan whenever you get a job, or whenever you get a job, you have to have a concrete plan, and I'm going to give you some tips for surviving. The first thing you need to do when you get a job is just save your money. Don't go out here spending money on Air Jordans. Don't go out here buying rims for cars. Don't go lacing your house up with fancy stuff. You have to save your money, stack your chips, as they say, and put a lot of money in the bank. I actually recommend you put, if you're not spending any money on bills, put it all in the bank. Save it up, and because you're going to need that money for later on. I've had several jobs where I lost them because people doing really, really greasy stuff. So I can tell you for a fact, each time I learned my lesson, the first time, way back about 12, 13 years ago, I learned a hard lesson, and I didn't have any money saved, and I got into a jam. 4 years ago, I got into a jam, but this time I had a plan, and that plan protected me. I saved up almost like 60-70% of my income and put it in the bank. That's the first thing you do. And that helped me throughout this long unemployment period that I had, where I was trying to build and start my business up. But if you have that savings, it's going to protect you, it's going to cushion you, and it's going to help you out, especially in the hard times, even when unemployment runs out. So make sure you save your money. The second thing you need to do, black man, when you're on a job, is get yourself a side hustle, a side business, something. You really want to have a backup position, backup hustle, just in case your job goes out. Because that backup hustle is going to become your primary thing in case you get fired. So you want to have something, maybe a sales position or night job, like a part-time evening position, or even start a little small business like I did. I started out self-publishing my own books and doing ebooks and things like that, and that really helped me out over time. But you really want to have something on the side. eBay, you go out to the store, you buy some toys, or you buy some popular stuff that's in demand, and you sell it and you put it on eBay. That's what we call passive income. And you use the passive income to pad your accounts and all your money. That's going to really protect you in the long term. That's going to be your backup. That's going to be your savings, your nest egg. And the side hustle is really, that's to save you, so that you can continue to have money coming in case you get fired, and you can have something to do on the side just in case you get fired. You can go to the post office on the weekend, mail off stuff if you're doing eBay or you're doing ebooks, that on Kindle and things like that. That's just, and then people will just buy that on the side, and it's passive income. You don't really have to do too much. Maybe promote it on Twitter or Facebook, here and there and everywhere, and that's just going to make you a little bit of money. But when you get on a job, what you want to do when you get on a job is make sure that all your I's are dotted and T's are crossed when on forms, on paperwork. Make sure everything is okay. Make sure everything is good. Every day, come in on time. Be professional. Don't give anybody a reason or evidence you have things to use against you, even though they are going to use things against you. Make sure that you look out for your own self by not doing things that will really just get you messed up and get you fired early on. I mean, in some cases, it's going to be inadvertent because there are forces working against you and there are people working against you. But don't do anything rash or stupid like getting into a fight with people or starting trouble with people or starting drama or getting involved with office drama and office politics. The next thing you want to do in the workplace is you really want to watch out for 3 or 4 types of people. The first person you want to watch out for is the simp. And the main reason why you want to watch out for the simp is because he is always trying to chase women on the job. You can tell who the simp is by what he's always talking about, which is women. He's always talking about all the sex he's had, how he's going to the club, and he's the guy. He's always dressed up in expensive clothes. He's always posing. He's always talking about all these women he's got with. And the reason why you want to avoid this guy is because he's on his way out. Because sooner or later, he's going to wind up in a jam with a sexual harassment lawsuit, or he's going to wind up jammed up because office politics. Because he's always he's always chasing women. He's always chasing women. He's always let me think about it. He's always chasing women. Somebody's going to report him to management or HR, because the whole thing about women in the workplace is they're very ambitious and they're very cutthroat. So if they see a simp, they see an opportunity to get ahead, or they see an opportunity to get a nice big paycheck from a sexual harassment lawsuit. And the reason why you want to avoid this guy is because he's gonna start naming names, and he's gonna put you at the top of his list if you're a black guy. And you're going to wind up in trouble because of this simp. And you didn't have to do anything except just sit there and talk to him or listen to him talk about women. And that's the main reason why you want to avoid this guy. Because he's going to start flipping people, and you're going to wind up getting fired. Because everybody there already is looking for reasons to fire you. And just sitting there and talking to a simp about his sexual encounters or the women he's pursuing, or just even listening to him will just get you in a jam. So you really want to avoid simps at all costs at work. The second person you really have to look for is the Mangina. The Mangina is a really, really, really sneaky guy. He's really, really sneaky. So you got to really watch out for this guy. He's the type of guy he will try to set you up in all type of ways. One of his greatest tricks is the paradox trap. This is where he pretends to come to you talking about, usually this is supervisors do this type of thing. He'll come to you talking about, I have all this great knowledge and great experience, and I'm going to help you develop your career. And the more you work with him, sooner or later you're going to find out all he's going to do is sabotage you. Because that's what Manginas do. They want to be the top man, or if you have a black male supervisor, Mangina supervisor, he wants to be the head nigger in charge. And what he's going to do is say all your work is wrong, everything is bad, everything is wrong, you're not doing this right, and everything is bad. And then he's going to go and turn around and gossip to other supervisors and say, you're doing a bad job. You're not doing things right. We need to get rid of him. And That's part of the paradox trap. The paradox trap is everything you do with this guy will be wrong. And you have to understand not to get into the paradox trap at all. I mean, these guys appear helpful in the beginning, but what they're doing is underhand, behind your back, sabotaging you by spreading gossip, spreading rumors, telling lies about you, talking about how you're lazy, talking about how you're aloof, talking about how you're unprofessional, when you're pretty much professional, but because he wants to stay at the top of the ladder, he's ready to cut you off at the knees. I mean, you really have to. This guy is one of the most dangerous predators in the workplace for a black man. You have to watch out for the Mangina. Really have to watch out for him. I've had several dealings with them. In 2000, I had to deal with one, and he tried to set me up to get me fired. And in 2008, I had to deal with another one. This one was a college professor, but because I didn't really pay much of attention to it until I started watching YouTube videos like guys like the Iceman, Big BKL the Great, and the Avenue's great classic video, The Threatening Black Man. I didn't get it, but you really have, and then that's when I realized that I was dealing with a mangina at the workplace. These guys feel inadequate. They feel inferior to other men, especially black men. They don't want to compete with black men, and really, they're mediocre. Their mediocrity it shows all throughout their work, and they don't know how to do anything well. So when they see a black man coming into the workplace, excelling and doing a spectacular job, they don't want him there because it's going to show how mediocre they are, and it's going to really expose the truth about what they've been doing in the workplace because they're truly dead weight. Manginas are really dead weight because they're so mediocre. They don't know how to. They don't have social skills. They don't have business skills. They're not creative. They have no imagination. The only thing they know how to do is kiss a lot of butt, follow rumors, tell a lot of lies. I mean, they're good at talking and deflecting and hiding, but they're not good workers overall. And that's another reason why you want to avoid the mangina, because you will start to see he'll tell you that his mediocre work habits are good work habits, and he's truly one of the laziest workers out there. And all he wants to do is have somebody to scapegoat and blame for things when things go wrong. And you don't want that to be you, black man. You don't want to be the guy who he blames for all the things that are going wrong, because really all the things that are going wrong are his fault. Especially if he's a supervisor. He's the guy he loves to find someone to make excuses for, somebody to blame things on, somebody to talk about things and say that it's all his fault. And then when they get the black man fired, people don't really, because people aren't really objective and they don't have really good critical thinking skills, they don't see how the mediocrity continues and how things are still messed up. So you really want to watch out for manginas. You really want to really look out for them because they're very dangerous predators. They will get you fired. They will do everything in their power to get you terminated. They will tell you to do things in the process of telling you that, oh, this will help your career or this will help you grow, and then all of a sudden you find yourself further and further back. So you really want to step away from these guys. And the next person you really want to watch out for is the black woman in the workplace. Excuse me. Oh, she's the most dangerous person on the work site because she wants to be on, again, like the mangina, she wants to be on top. She's going to cut your throat, plain and simple. Now, not all black women are like this, but most of them are. And they're working behind the scenes to get you fired too. I mean, these ladies will pretend to be your friend. They will pretend to be your close to you, and then they'll just take your information and use it against you. They'll take your information, use it against you, get you fired, and because they don't want you there. They definitely don't want you there because they feel truly threatened by any black man who shows leadership ability, creativity, professionalism, And most importantly, if he's an honest black man and a good black man, they're going to try to get rid of you because that does not fit within the white corporate power structure. What they want, what most black women want, is three types of. They want a simp or a mangina or a coon who's going to go because he's going to go along with the program. And like the mangina, the black woman feels very, very threatened by black men in the workplace because they know that if a black man comes to the workplace, they can't be the superstar at the office. They can't be the diva at the office. And they know that if he's here and if he's a really, really professional black male like I was, they get scared. They get terrified because they know that they're going to be held up to a higher standard. They know they're going to be made to step up their game, and they really don't want to step up their game. Like the mangina, they want to sit in the mire of mediocrity and profess that they're great when they're not great at all. And when you're dealing with the black woman in the workplace, you really have to keep things professional. You really have to keep your distance. Just because a lot of them try to wear short skirts and things like that and low cut blouses. Those are all deflections to keep you from focusing on your job. They want to try to bait you in, hook you in. These bed wenches will try to set you up. They again, like the mangina, they will try to do things to you, and you really have to watch out because they do stuff. They will if they're working reception. They will lose your phone calls. They will lose your messages. I've had this happen to me. They will not tell you things, and it's all passive aggressive behavior because they really, really don't like you. They feel intimidated by you. They feel threatened by you. And when you're dealing with black women, they will put on that friendly face, but then stab you right in the back, and you won't see it coming until later on. The most dangerous black women in the workplace are the really, really educated black women because they think they're so smart, but they're not smart at all. They feel threatened by any man who they feel can compete with them. They feel threatened by any guy who is on their level or even above their level. They really feel intimidated by them. They really feel threatened by them. And the other black woman you really have to watch out for is the Afrocentric Chick. This woman is a super Negro bedwench. I'm telling you right now, I had the displeasure of working with one way back in 2008. She talked about pro-blackness. She talked about being militant. She talked about looking out for black people. But in actuality, she was one of the biggest bedwenches I've ever seen. She was so loyal to Mr. Charlie. She would coon for him every time. And these Afrocentric ones are huge gossips. They will go behind your back. They will tell things that you have said. They will talk about you. They will take your information, twist it around, and manipulate it so they can get you out. You have and understand the Afrocentric black woman, the one with the natural hair or the dreads on the job with the dashikis and talking all this pro-blackness, is the most loyal person to white supremacy in corporate America. She will definitely. She's the one working the most of all to try to get you fired because she wants to be the ultimate image of the token black chick at the job. She's one of the most dangerous. She's like the mangina. She's an extremely dangerous predator. So you really don't want to mess with her. And on top of that, now I'm going to talk about the professionalism that you have to do with the job. Make sure you always make copies of every report you hand to people or the documents that you have to people, because people will lose your documents. I've had that happen to me. Managers and stuff will say, "Oh, you didn't give that to me." Make sure you have backups, and also make sure you document when you give it to someone. Better yet, make sure you have a witness. It may not be that great, but make sure you have a witness there when you hand them something, because I've had what happens is they'll take it from you and then say, "Oh, you didn't give it to me," or really it's a passive aggressive way of saying, "You know what? I'm going to try to make this guy look incompetent. So I'm going to have my track record, but make sure you have your records." And make sure you also have all your documents on USB key and make sure that you send all your emails. Make sure you have a backup of all your emails so you have documentation of what you sent, how you sent it, and when you sent it. Make sure you keep all your emails at work professional. Do not use your business email account for personal emails because they will try to use that against you. HR, I'm gonna tell you right now, is a big group of manginas, and they love to use they love to twist and manipulate company policy to get you fired. They'll rewrite the rules on the fly to get you terminated. So what you want to do when you're doing emails and stuff is make sure that you have a backup of it. That's why I always say carry a USB key with you and make sure all your work documents go on that USB key. So you can have records for yourself of what work you did, when you did work, and how you did work. Because they love to say that you're lazy. They love to say a black man is lazy at work when he's not lazy at work. He's working just as hard as everybody else, but white supremacists, white racists, black women, manginas, and simps love to just project that image onto a decent black man. They love to say that he has an attitude. They love to say he's aloof. They love to say that we can't approach him, we can't talk to him. When really it's their own insecurities and fears about dealing with a black man. They don't want to compete with a black man. They don't want to work with a black man because they fear competition. They fear him coming in and doing just as good a job or even a better job than they can. Also, when you're dealing with on at the job, you really want to look at your computer. Watch out. Do not use the computer at your job to look at anything other than workplace or work-related stuff, because people love to use that as a battering ram to get you terminated. They love to say, oh, he was on the computer, he was surfing the net, he's lazy, he's not doing anything, when in actuality, everybody uses the computer to take breaks, everybody uses the computer, to go shopping and all this stuff at the job. And the whole thing is that when you're a black man, they tell you that they try to turn things around on you and use it against you. So what you want to do is keep it all work-related, keep it professional. If you have a cell phone and you have 4G internet on that, use that during your lunch break or use that during the downtime. That way, they don't have records of your internet activity on their computer. Also on computers, you really want to stay away from adult websites. I know this is common sense. Or you want to stay away from sites like Victoria's Secret or anything like that, anything with bikini models, anything like that. Because again, black women looking around, white men looking around, they're looking especially black women looking around to get that sexual harassment lawsuit money. You really want to look out for that because they're going to say you create a hostile environment, this man is unprofessional, this man is lazy, this man is a pervert, he's a sexual deviant, and none of this stuff is true. You're just a regular man, and you're just doing something every man, even all those white dudes are doing in their own offices. But you really want to keep your computer clean. Your workplace computer clean. You want to keep it clean. And you want to not send personal emails on that. If you have a cell phone, please use the cell phone instead to send all your personal emails. And I'd even recommend that you take the time to forward yourself a copy of all your business emails to your personal email account, again, so you can have backup to protect yourself. And another thing you have to really look out for is the hood rat. Oh my goodness, you really have to look out for the hood rat. The hood rat works in reception. She's usually a receptionist or administrative assistant. And again, she's another one out to get your throat cut. She's out to kill you. She really doesn't want you there because you really, really, really represent competition to her. You really are a true threat to her and her livelihood because she can't function with you there because you really show how subpar a worker she is. You really show that there's black people who can actually achieve something and do something better than just being loud, obnoxious, that black people truly can be professional and positive. So she's really another one. She'll lose your documents. She'll lose your phone calls, your messages. No, she'll lose your messages. I know that for a fact because that happened to me several times. She loses your messages. She loses your documents, and She definitely will do all sorts of passive-aggressive stuff, like not communicating messages, not telling you about meetings, saying little snarky things. But that's of all black women in the workplace. They love to say little snarky things to try to make you look bad or make you look stupid. Because they really feel threatened by any black man in the workplace. And these women, again, want to be on top. They want to be head negresses in charge. They want to be the boss. They want to run the show. And they want to feel important, because a lot of them really feel inadequate about their place in life and their position in life. And what you want to do is try to keep your communications with these women at a minimum, especially the hood rats, because they are all looking for information to use against you. You want to keep it professional. You want to just look out for yourself out here, because when you're on this job, you're behind enemy lines, and it's not. It can work for your favor if you know what to look out for and when to look out for it. But if you don't know what to look out for, they will try to get rid of you within 6 months to a year. And I'm just trying to help you, brothers, from my personal experience on these jobs. Keep your job whenever you get it. And you really want to keep yourself professional. You want to keep your clothes clean. You want to make sure everything is on point on this job, because they will try to get you fired. They will try to get you kicked out. Your employment, personally, I'm going to tell you right now, is not going to be truly stable. So you really want to have that side business to help you out, like I do. Right now, I'm selling my paperbacks and ebooks on Amazon. So if you see the link at the bottom of the screen, yeah, help a brother out. But you really want to have stuff in action. You want to have money saved up. Do not start going out here spending money on garbage like rims and tires. I mean, if you're going to spend money on dry cleaning, spend money on haircuts, spend money on non-essential stuff. I mean, if you have to spend money, save it. I didn't mean to say that. I'm sorry. If you have to spend money, make sure it's on essentials for coming to and from work, like gas, subway tokens, and not subway tokens, on Metro cards, transportation. You do not want to spend money on useless stuff or at all, because you don't know when you're going to be laid off. You don't know when you're going to be fired. So you have to have a plan. This is survival. You are in the jungle, and you have to look out for all the predators. You have to look out for all the predators, like the simps, who are just out there they're just pussy hounds out here just chasing women. You want to look out for the Mangina, because he's out to keep his top perched pedestal. He thinks he's the head nigger in charge if he's a black guy, or if he's a white guy. He just wants to stay mired in mediocrity. And you really have to watch out for those predators like black women. Especially the Afrocentric ones, because they will try. They feel, and the hood rats, because they are just the most dangerous of all. I'm gonna wrap this video up. You can hit me up on the comments, and you can help a brother out by buying a book from the link at the bottom. Thank you very much for taking your time. I'm out.